Hi Capricorn, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your deep love read for the first half of February. The way this reading is going to work is I'm going to first discuss for a few moments the Venus energies that are going on for the first couple of weeks in honor of Valentine's Day, and because this is a love read. And then I'm going to go into singles, so Capricorn singles, and then a separate spread for an energy that you may be meeting or dealing with. And then I'm going to go into, I'm just calling it complicated relationships because most relationships are complicated. And I'm going to do a spread for you as well as for the person that you're dealing with. So let's first talk about the energies that are going on having to do with Venus. And I want to keep I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm looking for the nuggets of good in the energies right now. We have a lot going on. It's a weird month. There's a lot of changes. I know we all feel it. You guys have the stellium in your second house, but now on the 6th into the 7th of February, depending on where you live, you're going to have Venus joining the party in there. So it's going to literally be, it's going to be Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, which is retrograde, and the Sun, all in your second house of money, things you value, things that matter to you, as well as including your self-esteem and your self-value. So there's going to be a lot of conversation going on in there, but what's so nice is Venus is going to be coming in and saying, all right, kids, let's get along. Everybody sit down, and everybody's looking at Venus except for Mercury because he's like looking over his left shoulder because he's retrograde, but he's still there nonetheless. And there's a lot of focus on this area, right? Because this is where the Sun is. And Venus is a very beautiful energy for you guys. Now, this is a love read, but for Venus to go into your second house is really pretty sweet. I do want to say, right, having to do with money, because Venus is also a money planet. But I'll save that for our next reading. We also have Venus dealing with the nodes, right? Really beautifully. So we have Venus sextiling the South Node, and that's going to be happening in your 12th house. So your 12th house is your house of the subconscious, it's where the veil is very, very thin between worlds. It's why we call it the house of the mystic. It's also the house of self-undoing. It's where our addictions hang out, where we might get in our own way kind of thing, right? But Venus sextiling this energy in your 12th, there's going to be just a lightness and sort of anything that you're working through on a psychological level is going to be assisted by Venus. Now, the only thing I do want to mention here is Venus is also going to be semi-squaring Saturn in this energy. And a semi-square, it's not a big deal. It's a minor hard aspect, but it's worth noting, particularly on like short transits, I feel like, because it can cause this friction that's going to make you want to take some action to make yourself feel better, which I think is a good thing. Right? Because Saturn deals with karma, and that 12th house is a lot of karma being burnt off there. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of healing for you in that energy, between the 12th house and the 6th house axis. I always call that's the axis of the health, right? The mental, physical, and emotional health is the 12th and 6th house, right? And this is where Venus is going to be hanging out for you. So she's going to be trining the North Node, right, which is Gemini, and that's going to be happening in your 6th house of health, mental, physical, emotional. It's also your day-to-day work experience. So hopefully you guys are, reading between the lines here. I feel like it's going to be very positive for you having to do with work as well, right? Venus is also going to be sextiling. The last little point is sextiling Chiron in your 4th house of home. And Chiron is all about healing. It's something needs to be looked at to be healed in that 4th house of home. So having to do with any sort of either parenting situation, anything having to do, either your experience as a parent, something to do with your own parents, your physical home, dealing with selling a home, buying a home, doing some sort of something to your home, or just the idea of feeling at home within yourself. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be resonating with it like that, right? Because the metaphorical energy of that 4th house is exactly that, is being able to feel at home inside oneself. So that is all I want to talk about with the astrology. Venus is doing her thing, right? And I think for you guys, a lot of internal stuff is going to be going on while kind of kissing your money sector and your day-to-day work sector as well. So who can be mad at that? Okay. So first card up, how teachable are you? Okay, so this is going to be for all Capricorns in relationship. Doesn't matter what your situation is, whether you're single, whether you're complicated in between things, it doesn't matter. Okay, so it's just going to be for all of you. So let's pull these, and then we'll start with the singles. No place like home. Isn't that interesting that you're getting that Venus is going to be sextiling Chiron in your 4th house of home. Pretty profound, I'd say. Very nice. Because again, just like with the Cancer energy, it could be like your literal home or your metaphorical home. And there's nothing like feeling at home in one's skin, right? Just feeling like you're doing the right thing, you're hanging with the right people, you're doing the right thing with your life, you're making good choices. I mean, that's amazing, right? But we have that working with how teachable are you? And it's a question. It's not a statement saying you are or you aren't, but it's a question. Did I say statement? I meant question. It's something that needs to be considered right now. Especially as you're doing a lot of work in that 6th house, 12th house, right? What needs to be let go of? Where do you maybe need to reconsider your approach to certain things? All right, so this is going to be for our single Capricorn friends. Starting with the Hermit, so we're starting with the single card. Okay, so tell us something we don't know, please. Okay. Oh, but there's confusion. You have 2 choices. Okay. So in the recent past, we have the Fool energy. So the Fool is Uranus. It's all about the future. This is about fresh hope, taking a chance, new path, new beginning. But now the current situation is the Hermit energy. So the Hermit energy is very much about going within for clarity and personal truth. And really problem solving, and recognizing that, maybe you were on a path and you realizing that path was not the right thing for you. That's typically how the Hermit is connected, having to do with relationship. Now, I do want to say for some of you, if you are considering yourself single, but you happen to be in some sort of secretive love affair or something of that nature, right? Because the Hermit energy can indicate that as well. Working on a relationship in private, though, where nobody knows about it. So for some of you, that could be the situation that's creating confusion for you with the 2 of Pentacles. Because this does indicate 2 choices and needing to weigh options. So I'm just throwing it out there. That may resonate with somebody. But for the rest of you, you definitely feeling like perhaps you were in a relationship and you just wanted to go in a different direction and you are happily single right now. Like maybe you're just totally happy, just doing you, being you, focusing on your career, focusing on what you want to do. You could definitely be that, but yet you kind of don't 100%, right? I mean, that's what the 2 of coins is telling me. Okay, now we have the 3 of we have a lot of pentacle energy here though, but pentacles is also mental, physical, emotional connection, right? So to have the 3 of Pentacles, this is a Mars and you, Mars and Capricorn. This is about putting the work into something, right? That's why I always call this the Architect card, right? It's like after the two of coins, right? A decision needs to be made. There's weighing options. Well, now with that energy, there is this moving forward, right? So you may be in the space of, do I want to get into a relationship or not? It's on your mind. This idea of having something with somebody and building and being a team and collaborating on creating a life together, no matter what age and stage you're at, is I feel like it does seem like it's very much on your mind. Now we have this working with the Knight of Pentacles. It's a very reliable energy. Very patient, very hardworking. You may be meeting somebody at work or through work. You right now, you're in the 6 of Pentacles space right now in your life, right? 6 of Pentacles is a great energy. It's a minor arcana, but I think it says so much. It's about giving and receiving help, generosity, being very open to exchange. I have your back, you have mine. Very open to friendship. It's a beautiful friendship energy as well. Some of you, though, may be like, I don't have time for a relationship right now because I have to help out my friends and family members with money because of what's going on in the world. Some of you may resonate with it like that. The energy that's external to you that's impacting you, though, is the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is being called forth by somebody. So this is literally like, this is one of the meeting somebody new, somebody reaching out to you saying that they want to have something with you, asking you to marry them. You know, it's this idea of, I want you to think about the sun pulling you forward. There's no looking back. You see, we don't see the back. We don't see the front of their face. It's all about this person wants to go forward with you. So this is somebody offering this to you from the outside. Okay? Very interesting. It's offering this to you. So there could be busy energy. It might be, there might be a lot of exchanges, a lot of communicating, but very positive. It's one of the most positive minor arcanas, and that's happening external to you, coming towards you. And then we have your hope and fear as the Two of Cups. Don't be scared. Two of Cups is beautiful, right? I mean, this is the proposal of something. Like, let's go out, let's have dinner, let's do this, whatever. You're very scared of that, but it's you, we're wanting it at the same time. But the thing is, Capricorn, I'm just suggesting this as a possibility that because you've been through a whole lot in relationships, because you guys were the South Node for a couple of years, that you're kind of gun shy when it comes to opening yourself up very readily at this point to an entirely new energy. While you love the idea, it's scary because you don't want to go through all the pain again. You don't. But you know, the Emperor energy does indicate meeting somebody new. I mean, this is, you know, but it also does indicate taking a leadership role in your own life. Now, for some of you, I want to say, because this is going to be resonating with some of you, we have as the final outcome energy, the Eight of Pentacles, which is mastering your craft, enjoying your work, focusing on your work. You know, absolutely. For others of you, you're going to be meeting somebody new, the Emperor energy, which, by the way, is a very, very good energy. Very steadfast. Can be a little close-minded. Can be, okay? But, you know, a little stubborn. But a good energy nonetheless. And here, when we're talking about the 8, you know, the 8's the number of mastery. And if we're saying that the Pentacles can also mean mental, physical, and emotional connection, there is trying to master what's necessary to make a relationship work here. I feel like I want to pull Judgment, Five of Pentacles, the Strength energy. Yeah, you know, I do. I feel like, yeah, for sure. Because the Judgment has to do with the past. So this is, you know, dealing with the past, a little self-analysis, as I always say with this one, saying that you know you did the best you knew how within the circumstances that were presented to you in some sort of past situation. And you forgive yourself any nonsense that might have gone on, because what's the point? And you forgive, everybody's forgiven, right? So there's clarity here, and there's a final decision and a wake-up call. So, like, you can't hold on to the past, you know. There's just no point in it. The Five of Pentacles does indicate feeling this sense of lack, being worried, feeling isolated. But then we have the Strength card, which is beautiful. Not only is it about self-love and self-respect, but it's about unconditional love and being brave. And it's also Leo energy, which is the landlord of the 5th house of romance and falling in love and love affairs. This is all about romance here. So I do feel like, you know, many of you are still working through some old energies, which is fine. As it does seem, you know, and you're all going to be at different stages. But if you're sort of feeling like you're towards the end of it, you don't want to not engage with somebody who is, by all rights, a very good energy for you, right? Now, the thing is, when we get a no place like home energy as well, you want to make sure that you're not completely dug into the way something was. In other words, like, you know, and this kind of feed into the how teachable are you, where you had an experience in the past that really worked for you. Like on an energetic level, you were happy. You were happy in that at that point, and you would like that again. You would like that again with a different person, but you would like that arrangement, you would like that feeling, you would like all of that, right? Because to you, that memory, that's home to you. But what you need to understand is that a new energy is going to bring a whole different set of circumstances. And how teachable are you in understanding that there may need to be some flexibility utilized, within a connection, So let's see what's going on with any energy that might be dealing with you, somebody who wants to come in. So I kind of feel like somebody's like right there, right? Right there, Knight of Cups. Yes, okay. Princess Charming right here, wanting to propose something, offer something. Ace of Cups, stop. Capricorn, look, Ace of Cups. I love it. Seven of Cups. Ten of Swords. Knight of Pentacles, okay. Yeah, I feel like you're meeting somebody at work. Okay. So, Knight of Pentacles, maybe you met somebody at work, Reliable energy, patient, hardworking. Could mean meeting somebody at work, meeting somebody through people at work, like friends that you have at work as well. And here, obviously, the Knight of Cups is, wanting to offer love. Now, the thing is, when we have the Knight of Cups energy, you always want to be careful with the Knight of Cups. It's it's a great energy, and I'm not saying anything negative about it, but you want to make sure that there's follow through here with this person, because sometimes there are promises made, and you want to make sure that their walk matches their talk. Okay, so yeah, just a little caveat thing here. And we have the Ace of Cups, which is a new relationship, some sort of new offering. So I feel like this person, there is an energy that wants to come in. Okay, but what may be troubling you is the fact, like for them, now this is a subjective read, we have the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is about commitment issue, right? Maybe feeling like there are choices here. Other choices. Now, because it's crowning them, they may be fearing that you have too many choices and you have commitment issues, or they could be struggling. It's going to be different for each of you. Well, it's general reading. But that is what this energy means. The Seven of Cups is a Venus and Scorpio energy. And wherever there's Scorpio, there's always this idea of transformation. So we have this Venus, right? And then transforming. Okay, so there can be a fear of commitment, of transforming into a new relationship and giving oneself over 100%, because there's this idea of vulnerability and not knowing what's on the other side, and that could be really, really scary, right? So we have the foundation, we have the Ten of Swords. Now, I think that what I'm getting here with the Ten of Swords is a complete and painful ending, right? Something having hit rock bottom, and there absolutely needing to be a separation from a situation, like some sort of situation needs to be over, and this is them realizing. Now, the Ten of Swords is a card of, there's age here, so I don't think this is you. As if you're single now and you're meeting this person, new, where you're not in a relationship, because this is a relation, like there's intimacy here, and it's one sword at a time over time, stabbed in the back, that creates this ending. That the most that could happen is they end up walking away and realizing later on why that happened, understanding why it happened. So I feel like the person that you would be dealing with, who's very interested in you, is still nursing their own wounds. They're still dealing with their own pain, right? They're actively in this space right now of walking away from a situation. So, you may be meeting somebody and maybe they're still not completely available yet. But it doesn't seem like they're in a very healthy situation, because the Eight of Cups is about moving on and abandoning a situation and withdrawing. But chances are they already checked out already. They've already checked out typically with this. But it's a Saturn in Pisces. It's like knowing that whatever it was that they were in, they were never going to be happy in it. Those two energies do not like each other, Saturn and Pisces. Saturn's very difficult, and Pisces is like, let's stream and let's love everybody and be happy, right? And Saturn's like, no, so it's like a lot of heavy energy, a lot of challenges and obstacles became way too much, and they needed to walk away from it. Now, what is impacting them externally, what's happening externally to them that's impacting them, is the Emperor energy. Okay, so this is an energy that's external to them. This is a new energy coming in. Okay, new energy coming in. So this could certainly be you, right? Because you showed up in the near future, right? This idea of the Emperor. Now also, if this is not you, and if it's not a person, it could just be the energy, and the energy of the Emperor is that of fresh path, new perspective, taking a leadership role in one's own life, and feeling very confident and very capable about moving forward, right? So this is definitely what they're focused on right now. So the King of Swords is their hope and their fear. So I feel like this is a pretty sensitive individual, I do have to say, because this is not allowing emotions to get involved in anything. And that's a fear of theirs, and they're hoping to be able to stay very intentional in their thinking and very strategic in their thinking, and not emotional, right, in how they approach anything. So we have this working with the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is about wanting to move forward with something, right? Being very persistent in something, but maintaining boundaries. And then we have the Three of Pentacles, which is all about teamwork and collaborating, and it's a beautiful Sun in Aries energy, right? It's like, come on, not Sun in Aries, I'm sorry, Mars and Capricorn energy, where it's like, come on, let's build this, let's do this, let's go. So the Three of Pentacles is a beautiful energy to get after the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So I don't feel like this is an individual who's been through a lot in relationships, but they're not willing to throw in the rag, right? They're still fire in their belly for relationships. They've been through a lot, but they may have their boundaries up, but they want to be persistent in this situation. Yeah, they went through stuff. They did. But they want to move on. They want to move on. And they may have been with an individual, right? If they're not considering you, the Seven of Cups, they may have been with an individual who had commitment issues, and therefore the whole thing had to end, right? And so, that's that, right? The situation right now regarding you, we have the Knight of Cups complemented by the Ace of Cups. Still persistence and this desire to build something with you. So maybe the fact that that they were in a relationship, or maybe not 100% out of one, is scaring you a little bit, and you don't want to get involved in it. Could be that, for some of you. All right, so let's go on to, I don't know, I feel like that could kind of blend into the complicated, but neither here nor there. We're going to do a separate spread now. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So you guys are together, or maybe you're not together right now, but you guys aren't like totally broken up kind of thing. Maybe you're married for many, many years, and everything is okay on the surface, but you're definitely feeling like something's not right, So we have, in the recent past, we have the Five of Coins. And Five of Coins is, I don't know, maybe you guys were having money problems. That could have been it. Health issues. That could be can be a Five of Coins energy, right? But it can also be the sense of isolation and just worry. It's also be a poverty mindset. But there's more support available than is realized in the situation. So that could literally have to do with the connection within it. It doesn't have to have anything to do with money, right? Where it's just feeling this overwhelming sense of lack. Even if you guys live together, even if you share a bed every night, feeling this distance, this sense of disconnect. Okay, so we have the current energy we have is death. So the death energy in relationship can certainly be a necessary temporary separation or a permanent one. So it does depend on what your circumstances are, but it is about big changes and endings, and ending at least the way it was. Time to move on from something, to rebirth it, to transform. So for those of you, you guys are going to be getting back together, you may just need a little space right now to put things in perspective so that something can be transformed. Because sometimes you need time in between things, right? So that is that energy of transformation, right? And release. Okay, and that's working with the High Priestess energy. And the High Priestess is about secrets and trying very hard to trust yourself, but you're not fully disclosing what it is that you're feeling or what it is that you're thinking. Capricorn, you're not. I mean, the High Priestess is definitely kind of getting your ducks in a row internally and not sharing it with anybody. It is connected to the moon. So as I always say with the moon energy, you just want to be a little careful that you're evaluating and assessing your situation right now that you're going through with 100% honesty and based in facts, and not in fear or what your past tells you or anything like that. I always say that whenever there's a moon energy hanging out, because there's this idea of disillusionment with the moon, this idea of feeling disappointed, right, when there's a moon energy hanging around, either with the literal moon, even with any Pisces energy, we get that. High Priestess energy, we get that, where there's this disappointment and this, but not really disclosing how you feel. And the High Priestess, the layer that's added onto this is you're definitely planning something, like something is in the works in your mind. Now, what's crowning you here is the Empress. So you guys may be married with children, because this is certainly the energy of parenting. This is mother. She's the mother of the tarot. So, this could be an issue for you within the connection, the fact that you guys have children together, or an issue within the relationship could be the idea of fertility, of getting pregnant. Okay, if you are not in that stage or age of your life, this could also have to do with abundance, and it's being able to grow something. Now, the Empress is straight up in astrology, it's straight up Venus. Straight up Venus. So when we look at the energies that Venus rules, Taurus and Libra, Taurus is the second house of money and things we value, and then the seventh house is Libra, having to do with marriage and deep committed relationship, right? So it's this idea. So maybe there needs to be this, there are issues with things feeling equitable in these areas, having to either do with finance or who shows up how in relationship within the marriage. Now, the foundation here, though, we have is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is new fire. Now, for some of you, this could be just want to focus on like a new creative project. This could certainly be for some of you. Focus on where you almost feel challenged to put your energy into the relationship because you're super focused on some sort of new creative endeavor, because it's a wands. Wands is a metaphor for the pen, so you could be writing up some sort of business contract, creating something. Wands is also a metaphor for sex as well, right? So an ace is brand new, so it could be a new project, but equally so it could also be the foundation here is meeting somebody new where there's a lot of sexual chemistry, a lot of, that kind of undeniable connection that could end up being an issue, right? So we have that. But, if it is some sort of creative endeavor that you're taking on, to have the Empress energy, which is all about growth, and about this project, you may just be very focused on, money and growing your life, and focused on your children and this, that, and less on the relationship. So the fact that we got Temperance representing you does tell me that you are definitely experiencing a period of challenge, of discord, of upset, right? Because we don't need Temperance if we don't have all of that, right? This is you saying, putting a call out to Archangel Michael saying, come on, we need a mediator right now to come in and sort of help us temper the situation and bring some sort of harmony and balance to the situation, And you're willing, though. Otherwise, this wouldn't have shown up as you. So this does tell me that you're very willing to do that. Oh, everybody's eyes and ears need to be open. I always say that with the temperance energy. It's very important that they hear what you need, they see what you need, and you see and hear what they need as well. And then you guys need to together recognize, what does the union need, right? Because there are always three entities in every relationship. There's you, there's them, and then there's the union that you guys share. You're not them, they're not you. So in that middle ground, there needs to be empathy and understanding of what the other person is needing and feeling. And that's where you guys come together as a couple. So if you feel like you have fallen away from the ability to do that because you're each just very focused on your respective lives, maybe that needs to be paid attention to. The energy that's external, that's impacting you right now in this connection, is the Emperor. So you might be dealing with somebody, your partner might be in Aries, I'll just say that, right? Because Emperor is an Aries energy. But you might be dealing with somebody who wants things their way, and you may feel really uncomfortable with that. Because the Emperor's it's a good energy, but it's a leadership energy. It's like, I want to do things this way. And there can be this potential of there being a little bit of closed-mindedness and stubbornness with this energy. But they're very steadfast at the same time. So this is a good person, but somebody who's like, they want things their way. And you're like, whoa, we got to temper that. You know what I mean? Because that's external to you. That's not you. So then we have the Nine of Coins and the hope and the fear. Yeah, I mean, listen, the Nine of Coins is about financial gain, solo pleasures, luxury, having all the money that you guys need. This is what you want. This is what you're afraid of not having. I just feel like there is money worries here for many of you. Makes sense the way the nutty world is right now. If it has nothing to do with money, if you're fortunate enough to not have that in your on your worry list, the Nine of Pentacles, understanding in his mental, physical, and emotional connection, is you're hoping to feel super, super abundant in relationship, but feeling really good about you in the relationship. And you're afraid of that. You don't want to lose yourself in the relationship in the first place or anymore, depending on what your situation is, right? And I feel like a lot of you are going to be going through that, just because, again, going back to Venus is going to be sextiling and trining that 12th and 6th house, axis for you. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on that axis for you. So the near future, I actually really like this, okay? Because the near future is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups energy is a very supportive energy. It's tolerant, it's empathetic, it's all of that. But what does that even mean? So in astrology, and this is why I think it's important to understand the astrology of this energy. In astrology, this is Libra and Scorpio. Libra being the 7th house of marriage, business, it is business partnerships, but it's also serious partnerships. So we have a shared soul connection, right? And it's N Scorpio, which is all about transformation, changing. It's where the past hangs out. It's it's digging things up from the past. It's having that communication. It's looking at what the problem is, but it's looking at all of these things with a level of tolerance and a level of empathy that's necessary in order to fix a situation. So bringing us into the final outcome energy, we have the Page of Coins, Page of Pentacles here. So, I mean, if money's been an issue, somebody might be getting a new job, or there's money news coming in that's going to be very benefic for this connection if money was an issue. But Page also indicates a new cycle in a relationship. And it's a new cycle of connection. So, the way I'm seeing this for many of you is there's a lot of focus on things other than the relationship. It's caused a lot of, grief within the relationship. Things need to be tempered. Somebody just really consistently wants to have their own way. I'm not saying that you're perfect, but it does seem it's coming from the outside energy. Let's see in their spread. It does seem like you want the connection, you want it to work out and to start this new cycle, okay? For many of you. For others of you, others of you, this death with the High Priestess is you saying, you know what, I'm not sure if I want this anymore. I'm really focused on growing my life and feeling loved and being loved. So I really want to engage with a new energy here. But there's some temperance that needs to be exercised having to do with the situation that you're currently in. However, I feel like you're very focused on this idea of really wanting to feel loved, you know, and then we come to this King of Cups energy. This could be an energy that you're communicating with outside of the relationship, that you end up starting a relationship with. That's how some of you are going to be understanding it. General message on a big platform, guys, so I want to give a couple of different interpretations that come to me, just because there are so many of you out there, right? Okay, so now let's see what's going on with them. By the way, these are my Shiro Machete cards. I've both decks, okay? The one that I just used, this is the Grand Lux, and this is the Gilded Tarot. I've been getting a lot of questions about them. So I know a lot of you guys are readers. Highly recommend, especially the Lux one. The cardstock is fabulous, and they shuffle really beautifully. These are okay, but I feel like some of the ends are fraying already. But I like them. They're so beautiful. Okay. So let's see what's going on with Capricorn's partner. A subjective read, please. Oh my gosh, they got the High Priestess too, crossing. All right. All right. So, Knight of Swords in the past. So the Knight of Swords can be an energy that does not have follow-through, that comes in speaking their truth, creates a lot of chaos, and actually is kind of the energy where it's like, that's it, this is over, I'm done with this, and they have no responsibility, they don't feel any responsibility to mend the situation, to fix the situation. Now that's very much the Knight of Swords energy, very fast-talking energy. There's chaos with this, okay? There's chaos. So this is what I'm getting for them from the recent past. And we have the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands indicates there are, being, them recognizing that they've been through a whole lot in this situation with you, but they're still wanting to be persistent in it. And they're keeping and maintaining boundaries. They're keeping, they are keeping, okay, things have to be a certain way, but that doesn't mean that they don't want it. The High Priestess for them as well. We talked in great length about that before. Secrets, mystery, intuition, trusting themselves, but they need to also keep their internal narrative based in reality and not on some sort of, false narrative that they've created because of fear or not wanting to take responsibility from something. And the only reason I'm adding that to theirs is because we have the Knight of Swords with theirs. So we have the Six of Swords as the crowning energy, and the Six of Swords is all about necessary transition. Right? Relocating, moving away from something, moving away from the toxicity, at least for the time, right? Now we have the foundation as the devil. And I know, yes, you guys are the devil, but we're not going to go there. Let's interpret it a different way. Look, okay, fine, you're the devil. Okay. Capricorn, you're ruled by Saturn. Saturn is very restrictive. So if we look at it like that, the devil is very restrictive. There's a shackling energy about it. But this could also indicate that this person that you're dealing with might be struggling with some sort of addiction, greed, envy, materialism, obsession, sexual lust, depression, anxiety, anything that would create an imbalance that ends up shackling the relationship from being able to be healthy. So, that's what's going on there. We have them as the Star, though. And the Stars are very, very forward-thinking energy. It's about renewal and hope and inner clarity and having faith in something. It's wanting to heal something. It's wanting to have this sense of renewal. Now, for some of you, you may be dealing with an energy who is very egocentric, maybe even a little narcissistic, whatever the case is. You guys separated. They don't want to see their own stuff with the Knight of Swords. We get the Devil, the Knight of Swords, Six of Swords, okay? The star can mean them meeting somebody new. It can mean that. Or them trying to go out and meet somebody new. But an energy external to them is the Eight of Wands. Now, the thing is with the Eight of Wands, this is good news coming in that, and when it comes to relationships, if there's been any sort of distance between you two, a good message coming in regarding that. And then there being very speedy, quick changes after that. Very, very speedy, quick changes. So I am feeling more inclined to say that this is somebody who is in a space of really wanting to renew, really wanting to have faith in something, and, you know, having the conversation. Not thinking that the conversation was going to come in, but it comes in. The 8 is very strong, and especially with the Wands, it creates a very strong foundation to work with. So you either call them or they're waiting for you to call them. They want this renewal. But it's funny because there's a lot of ego going on with this person, is there not? Just with the Knight of Swords and the Devil. I don't know. And then we have the King of Swords in their fear position and their hope position. So this is about keeping emotions out of it and just staying very mental, very intentional and strategic, right? They're hoping for that, but they're fearing that. This came up in another reading. I don't remember if it was one of the ones that we did here. But we have anyway. We have the Knight of Pentacles as the near future. So really, you know, awesome energy, reliable person, very patient, very patient. Very patient. They're willing to be patient. I want to finish that interpretation. And then we have Judgment, which is about a final decision, a wake-up call. Clarity in a situation, excuse me, that has to do with the past. So this, because this is a Pluto energy, and Pluto is about digging up the past and looking at it and just forgiving the past. And again, you know, everybody did the best they knew how in the moment. So I feel like I know you got that in another, one of the other readings as well. But I also want to say, though, that if going back to this Knight of Swords, Six of Swords, Devil energy, being secretive, if they met somebody else, I feel like they met them in work. And the Judgment energy is them forgiving themselves for whatever it is that they're doing. Again, this is a subjective read. It doesn't have to make sense to us, but it's almost like there's this imbalanced energy, right? But they make excuses for themselves. So it's going to resonate with some of you. Others of you, you have somebody very willing wanting to work it out. But others of you are dealing with somebody who's, I'm going to say, a bit of a narcissist. Because the thing is, with the Knight of Swords, it's like they come in, they spew their stuff, they don't want to take any responsibility for the chaos that they're creating. The High Priestess is very secretive. There's this moving away, at least in the mind. Then we have the Devil, which is imbalanced. So you put those together, and then you give me the Star. Because the Star can indicate meeting somebody new. Eight of Wands, getting a phone call or a text, reached out from somebody. And, you know, trying to stay very straight in the mind, having to do with this, not wanting to get sucked up into the emotions of the situation. The Knight of Pentacles does indicate, can certainly indicate meeting somebody at work. And Judgment energy is about, look, you know, maybe I messed up, but I did the best I knew how in the moment. The past is the past. We all need to forgive what we've done. Now we all just need to move on. Those are the two interpretations I'm getting. So I hope you resonate very much with the first one. And I'm sorry if you resonate more with the second one. Right. Okay, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.